We all know the weight of the moment we couldn't protect the people we loved the most. Even when it was out of our hands, we still carry it like a scar that no one can see. If you lived with that quiet guilt, stay with me. This story belongs to you too. There's a pain many men carry that never gets spoken. The pain of not being able to protect the people they love the most. Your child, your partner, brother, your best friend. You're supposed to be strong enough, present enough, wise enough. But life hit harder than you could stop. And now you carry the weight, the what ifs, the I should have known, the belief that you should have done more. From the outside, you can be respected, even admired, and from the inside, still hold that ache in silence. Because this pain doesn't scream, it whispers. In sleepless nights, when you wake up first thing in the morning and you remember something embarrassing. In memories you replay. In moments you wish you could rewrite. It lives in your body, in the way you tense up when someone says, "Oh, they're safe." In the pause before you answer questions about your past. And sometimes you wonder if you'll ever forgive yourself, or even if you should. Men are hardwired to protect, to stand between danger and the people they love. And when we can't, when illness, courts, addiction, betrayal, or tragedy overwhelms us, we don't just grieve what happened, we grieve who we weren't able to be. You weren't only trying to save them, you were trying to fulfill your role. So when it fails, pain turns into shame. Not because you didn't care, but because you cared so deeply. No one prepares men for this kind of loss. The kind where you gave everything and still could not stop the storm. No one tells you that sometimes the world wins, even good men are overrun. Yet that instinct never fades. You replay it. You imagine different endings. You wonder what you missed. That is not weakness. That is devotion. That is loyalty. But left unexamined, that same devotion becomes an unrelenting emotional cage. Sometimes you fought with everything you had and still lost. You showed up in court and still lost your child. That happened to me. You stayed up all night and still couldn't save them. I watched my mother for a year while she died of cancer. You tried to get help and still watched things fall apart. Even when it wasn't your fault, you made it your responsibility because that's what we do. That's what men do. We shoulder blame quietly. We carry burdens no one assigns. We hold the weight so others don't have to. But silence becomes a wound that never fully heals. Every time you think you've moved on, something brings it back. It could be a sound, a date, a smell. And there it is, that whisper, you failed, except you didn't. You showed up, you stayed, you tried longer than most would have. You sacrificed sleep, money, pride, and peace. You tried to fix what was never yours to control. You tried to save someone who couldn't be saved. Now, we'll be honest here. Sometimes that makes you foolish. Most of the time it doesn't. It makes you brave. Here's the truth no one says aloud. You were never meant to be all powerful. You're not God. You're not even a God. You are a man with limits, a man who can love fiercely and still lose, a man who can do everything right and still watch things just fall apart. Doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Your grief is real, but your shame does not belong to you. You do not need to carry the weight of the whole world. You did what you could, and sometimes what you could do was not enough. But that does not mean you were not enough. Some scars are signs of love, of effort, of moments you refused to abandon, and let that matter. You showed up, even when it didn't or couldn't possibly change the outcome. You stood in the fire. You took the hits. You carried it as far as you could. And now you carry the silence. But you don't have to carry that silence alone. You're still here amongst other men who've been there, who get it. You are still standing, not because you saved everyone, but because you never stopped loving them. And that matters. Even if no one saw, even if no one thanked you, even if the people you tried to protect walked away or forgot or turned against you, your heart knows, your soul knows what you did. Today, you get to honor the man inside you who stood anyway, who kept loving even when it didn't work. That is real strength, not perfection. Presence, not control, commitment. You were there, and no matter what the world says, that counts. Still standing, still carrying love, still the kind of man this world needs. The story of what you couldn't save is also the story of how deeply you loved. Let that be seen. Let that be honored.